Hello folks, Basic Ollie here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video on this channel. Now, I'm making this video because I have had so many requests for it. It's pretty insane. There are so many people that have asked me, Ollie, can you please do a beginner's guide to racing on Lamar Ultimate Online? And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. Now, no messing about, we're going to get straight to it. I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to make the video as simple as possible. It's going to be truly is going to be a beginner's guide because so many people have been asking for just a simple guide on just how to do the basics. Because if you watch this sim for the first time, you've been used to all the other sims, you might be scratching your head going, what the hell is this? What's virtual energy? What's race control pro? What is all these things? What's the driver rating system like? How does that work? I'm going to break it down for you in this video. So without further delay, let's start off with the very basics. Okay, so the first thing, how do I race online? Incredibly simple, incredibly simple. So when you load up the game for the first time, all you need to do is just click online. Okay, now you have a menu here that's got hosted, online championships, weekly special events. Don't worry about that too much for now. All we're going to do is click on daily races. These are the shorter ranked races. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for now. We're just going to concentrate on those. So all you need to do is click on the race on the left. That is the beginner's race. It's SRB0. So basically, the driver rating, safety rating is completely brand new. So you don't need to worry about your driver rating or safety rating. So you just click on this. You can see it says starts in 7 minutes time. And all you need to do is click on register. Pick the car that you want to be in. Easy peasy. It tells you when the event is starting. It's starting in 6 minutes, and it's also got a thing in the top right hand corner saying it's a beginner series, what you're racing, and what time that race is today. Now, once you've registered, you can, if you like, click on join practice. Now, before you do that, you can have a quick look at this page that tells you all the information you need to know. For example, there's 127 drivers registered for this event. It's 21 cars per split. You'll be racing at Sebring. Practice is 3 minutes, qualifying is 5 minutes, the race is 20 minutes, and then down here you've got your driver rating and safety rating in terms of how much you're going to gain for this race. You can see it's a fixed setup. The track limits are default. You get 12 sets of tyres. I don't know how you're going to go through 12 sets of tyres in such a short event, to be honest with you, but you could. Tyre warmers are enabled, so that's quite important. So when you actually start the race, your tyres are going to be warm already, so you don't need to worry about filling up. Other races do not have that. Okay, there are other races where you won't need that. Tyre wear is realistic, so is the fuel, and the damage is 1.5, so it's 1.5 times more likely to get damage from a little bit of contact. So once you've read all that, all you need to do then is to click on join practice. There are several practice sessions. Click on anyone really. You know, you can go on a quiet one or one with plenty of people in it. I'll click on practice event number 4, and then it will load you into your session. Now bear with me. I'm going to stay with you until it's actually loaded into the session, because there's a few little things you might want to know about once you're actually in the session itself. Come on, I know you say 100%. Oh, right. So, turn this down a little bit. So now you are in your event. Now, this is the standings, so don't worry about that too much. Basically tells you exactly where you are. Then click on start driving if you like, but one of the things I probably recommend you have a look at first is just your car setup. This is the car setup page. It can be a little bit daunting at first glance, but don't worry about it. It is quite simple once you get used to it. All right, so important to note, with fixed setup, there's quite a few things you can still change, all right, like your TC. On the right, you can change your ABS or your brake bias. We're in the GT, so we don't have ABS. Your starting fuel and your tyres, okay? So you can go through that and do that. One important thing to note as well is that many people ask, what do I do about setups? Do I need to buy setups? The answer is no. The sim has some pretty good pre-built setups in the sim already. So if you were going to go to an event and open setups, all you need to do is click on the Coach Dave Academy and it will pre-load a setup for that car and that track, and then you can just make adjustments there. You can buy setups if you like. If you're not a fan of the Coach Dave ones, it's absolutely fine. You can buy your own setups, but for now, you know, those are pretty much the basics. Now, when it comes to the actual setups itself, I really wouldn't worry about it too much if it's your first time playing. I really, really wouldn't. All that I would say is when you look at the tyres, just make sure you pick the tyre that you want. In this session, it's going to be soft, and you'll see it says brand new. So that's one thing you need to work out. It will just say it's brand new. And yeah, just make sure it's right. And then you click on start driving, and then it will put you on track. So once you're on the track, this is what you'll be greeted with. Top left-hand corner, you've got the relative with people's tyre compounds. There'll be virtual energy as well, and I'll try and display that in a little bit more detail later on, but don't worry about that too much right now. Bottom left-hand corner, you have the delta with your MFD, which you can flick through so you can see the relative, the information about the track, your timing, your tyres with the actual tyre pressure, how much wear they've got, tyre temperature, and brake pressure, or brake temperature as well. And then you've got the fuel, so you can set a fuel target, which is pretty sweet as well. So you can flick through if you want to do an extra 2-3 laps. It will give you the fuel target. Very nice. Electronics, you can play with the electronics and go through that. And then you've got the pit stop part of it where you can adjust with exactly what you need to do. Now, what is very cool about this sim is that it will tell you what you need. It will tell you exactly what you need, so you don't need to worry about kind of fuel calculations on the go. It's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So once you've got this page up, it will tell you, and on this page as well, when you go on the fuel, a little box will pop out telling you how much fuel you're going to need to get to the end. You don't need to worry about that. And then behind me, I'll quickly move myself. As you can see, you've got things like the tyres, oil temperature, water temperature, and then obviously you've got your you've got the revs in the bottom right-hand corner with the gears, force feedback, and all that kind of stuff. So, and in the top right-hand corner, you see you have your lap count, best lap, current lap, sector times, and you'll have this thing that says event starting, leave the session to join. So if you are in a practice session right now, like I am, and you're registered for the race, it will say the event is starting, leave the session to join. Now, you can do that if you like, but the practice sessions tend to end, there you go, when the event is about to start. So it now says the event is underway, so all you need to do is click on join event. Very simple. You don't have to worry about anything. As soon as you've registered and picked your car and gone to the practice session, you won't forget. There are reminders on the screen, so that is very, very handy to have. So do remember that. It'll be so dead easy. You really don't need to worry about much at all, to be honest with you. So, yeah, big thumbs up on that. That's super easy to do. Okay, now we are actually in our lobby. You can see what split you're in here. We are in split 1 of 11. We have 3 minutes practice, then 5 minutes quali, and then a 20-minute race. Now, this is where it gets quite important in terms of how much race fuel or qualifying fuel you're going to need. So when you go to car setup, it already calculates how much fuel it's going to use per lap. So what I would do, you can left click on this to make it go down a little bit, or right click. Now I would right click this all the way down. You can adjust this to however you like, but it's 4.6 laps. You can make it go like that, so it's 4.3, so that's 14 litres. And that will essentially get me through qualifying. That shouldn't be too bad, because qualifying is 5 minutes long. Now, if you cross the line before the timer ends, say you cross the line with 10 seconds to go, you can still finish that qualifying time. So you might be thinking to yourself, 4 laps of fuel is too much because it's only a 5-minute qualifying session. You might cross the line just in time to start another one. All right, so do remember that, okay? You'll have to make sure that you remember that, because I've done it a few times where I've done a lap, one lap less of fuel there, and I'm annoyed because I know if I just did one extra lap, I could have improved my time and qualified higher. So do remember to do that. But yeah, the car setup page, this fuel bit here, really handy, and the fact it tells you how much fuel you're going to use, and it already knows, is pretty damn epic, I've got to say. Okay, so qualifying is now beginning. Now I'm going to click on start driving. I've set the fuel to how I like. Now, the pit limiter should be on automatically. You drive out the pits yourself. We're at Sebring, so it's a little bit of a strange one, to be quite honest with you. So don't take Sebring as... well, it's not the best example, so I do apologise for that. because it's a little bit weird the way you come out the pits. Other tracks aren't like that I've found. It's just Sebring where it is like that. So it's going to take you a while to get out of the pits at Sebring. Now, what might happen is if you are pretty quick, you're going to get to this bit and it's going to say you can't exit, pit lanes closed, because it's basically syncing everybody up. So if the red light is on as you come to the pits, when you're about to start your quali run, wait, do not cross it. You will get a penalty otherwise, okay? So let's just imagine it's red, it's gone green, and we're off. All right? So we're off to do our thing now. So we can go out there and do our laps. As you will see now, the tyres are at 50 odd degrees already. So that's where the tyre warmers are in place. You don't have to worry about warming up tyres. Some other races will not have tyre warmers and you'll have to warm up. That's where you'll want to do as many laps as possible to get as much temperature in the tyres and the brakes, of course, to basically have a really good run. And yeah, that's pretty much qualifying, to be honest with you. It's relatively simple and yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Okay, quick thing to note: if you have just done quali, once you've done quali, you will see that your tyres, you'll have 100%. You'll probably be like more like 95, 96 if you've actually done some laps, unlike me. So your tyres will be at 100%. Now, you do have these presets. It's important to note that you'll want to change these before the race starts, okay? So you can click on soft, medium, hard, or wet if you're on GTE, but normally in GT3 fixed races, you normally just have medium. So for this example, I'm just going to click on softs, and you can see these are brand new, because if you don't do this, you'll start your race on your race tyres, on your quali tyres, sorry. So you want to make sure that your tyres are as fresh as possible, all right? So once you've actually gridded up, eventually you'll start rolling away. You'll start doing a rolling start. Now, it will tell you what to do in front of your face. It will say on screen what's going on, and you'll want to kind of keep this kind of distance away from the car. You want to keep in the green. If you get too close, it will say you're too close, and if you drop too far back, you've dropped too far back. Now, you want to just kind of get to the point where it's not actually telling you anything. And then once you get to that point, you're fine. I normally like to put the pit limiter on at this point just to make sure I don't speed. And then you'll see it here, it says hold speed at 60. Now, I'm going to do that. Now, you can, if you want, just have your foot all the way down. It's the AI here, so they're a little bit sluggish here. Have your foot all the way down, and as soon as it goes green, just press the button to let go of the pit limiter, and you'll be off. You'll be into your race. Now, once you're into the race, you'll be doing your own thing, obviously racing with everybody around you. Do know that in the formation lap, contact is on, so do be wary of that, okay? But the first thing you'll probably notice in the race when you're doing it is in the top left-hand corner, you'll have the tyre compounds. And if you're racing anything other than GTE or LMP2, you're going to have something called virtual energy, which is in the top left-hand corner of the standings. As you can see, I'm on 97%, whilst others are on 57%, okay? Now, virtual energy is one of the things that people get most confused about. What is it and why is it important? And I'm going to talk to you now about why it is important and how to set it up and to make sure you're not using too much or too little. So virtual energy can be quite confusing when you're learning about it for the first time. The best way to look at it, I think personally, is imagine it's like a bop for all the cars, okay? So every car can go up to 100% virtual energy. And if that virtual energy hits 0, you do get a stop and go penalty. Now, don't try and overcomplicate the virtual energy too much. Don't try to be too fancy with it, especially if it's your first time on the sim. Leave as it is, because the game sets it up pretty well, okay? So I've just loaded into a practice session. The best way to kind of show you exactly how the virtual energy works is on this tab, well, this little section here, all right? So it says virtual energy, 100%, 93 litres carried. Now, if I was to click on start driving, and you look in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you're going to see it says NRG, which stands for energy, is enough for 29 laps, but the fuel at its current rate is 93 litres, and that is enough for 30.3. Now, as always, you want to make sure that neither of those run to 0 if you're doing a stint that is longer than what it says it will do on the revs in the bottom right hand corner. You don't want that to happen, of course, because you'll get a stop and go, or you run out of fuel, and then you'll just be so. Neither of them is a really good option. But at the moment, you can see it's a little bit out of whack. Okay, so it has done it automatically, but we can change it if we like. So if we return to Garage Look and we go to Car Setup, if we wanted to, we could go to Powertrain and do a fuel ratio of 100 if we wanted to. Now, what will happen there is that we've got 100 litres for every, well, we put a litre in for every 1% of virtual energy we put in the car. So we've got 100% virtual energy at 100 litres. But the car does not use that amount of fuel per lap, so it doesn't use it. So there's no point having the fuel that high per 1% of virtual energy. So best thing to do is, if you want, is just to play around with it a little bit and just try and find the ratio that is good for you. So we start off with 0.93 as the game set. Let's put it down by 5.3, and we click on start driving. We're pretty close already. We're at 29.3 litres of fuel and 29 laps of virtual energy. It's not that complicated when you start playing around with it and you start to understand it. I think there are ways where you can look at it and it sounds quite complicated, but when you actually start going out driving yourself and you start understanding it, and you just start using it, you'll very quickly understand exactly what it is. It's kind of hard to put into words exactly what it is, but actually just showing people and actually just racing and doing it yourself, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So I hope that makes sense. Do remember, in the top left-hand corner, when it says percentage, that is the virtual energy, and that is not tyre wear. I fell for that for the first time on this sim. It's not that, it's virtual energy. So I hope that explains that. Now, like I said earlier, you can run out of virtual energy before you run out of fuel. That can happen. If it goes to 0% and it drops to completely 0%, you will get a stop and go penalty. You will get a massive penalty. I think it's like 100-second stop and go, something along those lines. So do remember, if the fuel's quite high and the virtual energy is quite low, you can adjust the fuel ratios here in your MFD if you like. But yeah, just remember, that's how it works. Hopefully that's nice and simple and not too complicated for you. It's quite a big part of the sim. As long as you understand it and know how to use it, you'll be okay. Okay, next up, let's talk about the driver rating system. So you have a driver rank and you have a safety rank. Now, you start off in bronze, and you can work your way up from bronze to silver, to gold, and then to platinum. Now, within those categories, you do have numbers 1, 2, and 3. Pretty self-explanatory. You'll start off with, well, when you first start off in the sim, you'll start off with a driver rank of bronze 3, and then you can eventually progress to silver 1, silver 2, silver 3, and then that will eventually upgrade you to gold 1, 2, and 3, and then platinum 1, 2, and 3. Same with the safety rank system. Exactly the same. Now, when it comes to actually ranking up on this sim, you'll find your driver rank is quite difficult, I would say, to get up. There are races that award, you know, times 2, times 3, times 4 driver rank. But even myself, I've done about 35 races on this sim, 16 podiums, 6 wins. I'm still silver driver rank 1. I'm not even halfway through. That is purely because when you have a bad result, it's quite bad on your driver rating. I think it needs to be slightly adjusted. I think it's a little bit harsh if you do end up getting taken out. You do lose a lot. For example, I think in this WEC experience one down here, I was in P4 and I got destroyed by a hypercar, and it basically forced me to retire, and I lost 30% of my driver rank in Silver 1. So it's quite difficult. But in another way, you could look at it as if to say, well, it will take a while to rank up, which is not a bad thing, to be honest. It will give you something to invest in and put some time in. Safety rank, in my opinion, a little bit too easy to rank up, if being completely honest with you. It's relatively easy to do. Now, the way these things kind of work, if we have a look at the review of the results of this one here, you'll get this at the end of every single race that you do. You will basically get like a ranked breakdown of what happened in this race. So once you finish your race, you'll get a rank breakdown as it shows here. So you can see my driver rank here went up 6.6%, beat 21 drivers in qualifying, didn't lose to any drivers in qualifying, beat 21 drivers in the race, and I didn't lose to any drivers in the race either. Safety rank, as you can see, went up 22.3% in this one. 5 clean quali laps. Now, do remember, quali laps do go up towards your safety rating, so do remember that. and your driver rating as well, where you qualify, does matter in this sim. Now, I did get a stop-and-go penalty for exceeding the energy allowance, but I had to cross the line, so I still got the penalty, but it's fine. Without that, I probably would have gone up another safety rating. Yeah, got away on. I did 14 clean laps, and I had 1 invalid lap. That's all I had. So, as you can see, safety rating went up quite nicely. Driver rank, despite the fact it was top split, and I did win that race, it only went up 6.6%. Okay, so pretty harsh, but that's just the way it is. That's the way it works at the moment. You can see all your race results here, the event info, all this kind of stuff. It is pretty good. The online system and what it shows you is pretty snazzy, I've got to say. It's a really good breakdown, exactly what works. Now, if we take the WEC experience fix, like I said, where I was 4th and ended up finishing 20th, we got taken out. If you have a look here, it is actually quite savage, because I think if we go to rank break down here, you can see lost 14 positions. 0.9% safety rating, and there you go. Look, silver, I lost 30.6. So I won that 30-minute multi-class race at Sebring that I showed you earlier, got P1 in that, and got 6.6%. This one, I lost 30.6% because I finished plumb last. So it was not kind to me, at all. Whether it needs adjusted, I don't know. I think it's a little bit harsh if you do get a bad result, but I suppose, yeah, it will just make you want to stay and just try and grind it out and not lose as much. But it's up for debate. It's just the way the system is. I don't mind it, but I personally would change it. And you can see the gold rank as well. Yeah, you can see quite. I have 3 clean quality laps, 7 clean race laps, 1 invalid quality lap, 3 invalid race laps, race contact with this chap here, race contact with this chap here, twice with this car, and then I had a DNF. So despite all those negatives, I only lost 0.9% safety rating. So the safety rating is quite generous. So you can get there. It's a little bit of a grind to get your safety rating up. You know, you'll have to do several races. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. So that's basically the driver rating, safety rating broken down. It's quite simple. It's quite good, to be fair. A little bit adjustments needed, I think, but apart from that, I think you enjoy it. I think it works. It's not too overly complicated, and yeah, I think it's for this sim. I think it works well. Okay, so this is super easy. The races on the left are always the beginner races. They will always have some form of free track and some sort of free car. So you will always be able to take part in the beginner series. Always, okay? That won't change. You'll always be able to take part in the beginner series. And you can see SRB0. So you can't get lower than that, as far as I'm aware. So you should be able to partake in that easily. You'll be absolutely fine. Now, when it comes to other races, such as, you know, the ELMS Sprint Cup or the Super 60 Series, you'll see at the top here, it tells you what safety rank you need to partake in those races. Now, it's just not like there's free races going on at any time. There's quite a few, actually. If you click on the schedule, you will see you've got the GTEs, the GT3s, you've got a prototype trophy, you've got the ELMS Sprint, you've got the Super 60 Series, and you've got the WEC Experience Fixed. And this page here, when you click on schedule, gives you all the times of when those races occur. Now, the races do refresh every Tuesday. Well, at my time, so BST, they refresh every Tuesday at midday. Okay, so that's when it will update in the sim, and you'll get a new set of races. Now, if you want to know what the races are going to be before they appear, join the Le Mans Ultimate Discord. I'll see if I can leave a link in the description for you, and they will tell you exactly what races occur as well. In my Discord as well, if you want to join that as well, we normally forward the message on into the LMU side of Discord. All right, so you'll be able to see exactly what you need. Now, when it comes to these races, you've got these daily races. You also have weekly races. All right, so you get these, I believe, on a Wednesday, and you get them at the weekend as well. Now, these races are longer. They can be, well, from experience, they're about an hour and 40 minutes to 2 hours is what I'm finding. And they have a much more strategic element to them, so they are longer, bigger rewards as well. They tend to have like a little bit of an increase in driver rating and safety rating, so they're quite decent to take part in. And they're a little bit of fun as well. Again, you want to make sure what time the races actually start. Okay, and yeah, they're quite a lot of fun. I do like the weekly races. Wednesday and weekends is when is a good time to take part in it. Special events as well. These are quite a bit more rare. They don't happen as often. A couple of weeks ago, we did get the 6 hours of guitar, which was the first driver swap event, which I really enjoyed. So do keep an eye on the special events tab because sometimes they do run some pretty good events. Now, these are the races you can do. Now, there is one other race you can partake in, and this is the online championships. Now, Gran Turismo fans, okay, this will feel rather familiar. Okay, so currently at the moment in time, we have a GT3 Fixed Championship, Valkyrie Trophy, European Le Mans Trophy, and the World Endurance Championship. It tells you how many entries, rounds, and attempts you've got. Now, what is quite cool about these championships is when you select your car, you're locked in. You are locked in to that car for the season. So I picked the Porsche, and you can see here I've done 2 races, 1 win, 1 podium. Now it tells you the upcoming time slots, how many attempts you've got left, because you're only allowed a certain amount of attempts, and when you can basic race and how many people are registered, and gives you all the information about the race themselves. You have a schedule. You have standing, so you can see exactly where you are. See, I'm P9 in my driver rank. You can have a look at the manufacturer. You can have a look at the nationality. You can look overall. It's very good, I've got to say. I really, really like the online championships. Now, the online championships, they're not available to you if you don't get the upgraded version of Race Control, and I'll go into that next, okay? This is kind of one of those things where you have to pay a little bit more to get access to, but I personally think it's worth it because I really like this. This is kind of got like a Gran Turismo, like kind of Nations Cup or Manufacturers Cup from back in the day when I used to do Gran Turismo. It's a lot of fun. Now, you can say you don't like the car you've picked. You can unregister and rejoin again, but you'll lose all the points that you've got with that car. Apologies, Mike. Yeah, you'll have to start over again. But you can just stick with it if you like. So I'm in the Porsche right now. I'll probably stick with it for now. But it's a lot of fun, and I got to say, it's just great schedule. You can see what rounds they are, the dates, and if you go back to online championships, if you just highlight the time, the days here, because it tells you when they are, it will tell you when there are actual slots for your time zone as well. So as you can see here, Hypercar Series, the World Endurance Championship, you can see loads of slots on the Saturday and one at midnight as well. And if you want to partake in the GT3 Fixed, there's one at midnight as well. So I really, really love this feature. I think the online championship is great. So yeah. Let's talk about the prices, shall we, for the online championship, DLC, all that kind of stuff. Let's move on to that, which is probably the bit you guys are quite interested in, because that's when you got to pay to get access to some of the extra stuff, shall we say. So when it comes to racing on the Mart Ultimate, you'll have to sign up to Race Control. Now, you can either do the Lite version, the Race Control Pro version, or the Race Control Pro Plus version. Now, I'm personally a Race Control Pro Plus version because I play a lot of this sim at the moment. But if you're just trying out, I just recommend going with the Lite for now because it is free. All right, this is where you'll basically just get all your basics like your driver profile. You can do special events, weekly events, daily races, all that kind of stuff. Pretty self-explanatory, nothing crazy about it, and it is free. The Race Control Pro version gives you a little bit more, and this is currently billed at $48 a year. Now, you can do this yearly or monthly, by the way, if you are interested. Now, the Race Control Pro version gives you things like the custom liveries. You can now do the online championships. Extended registration, so you can join, I believe, a little bit earlier than what you can do on the Lite version, so you can register a bit earlier for events, and instant protests are involved in that. Don't personally agree with that too much. I think that should be involved in the Lite version, but that's just me. And then you have the Race Control Pro Plus version. This is pretty much the same as the Race Control Pro version, but you get all the Le Mans Ultimate DLC and the R Factor 2 DLC, and this is currently $84 a year. You can do this monthly as well if you do want to do that instead. Now, you do have the option of just doing Race Control Pro and then just buying the DLC yourself from, I don't know, the Steam store or whatnot. And then that is yours. That's always be yours. If you do the Race Control Pro Plus like I've done, you do get the DLC, but as soon as you stop paying for that, the DLC is basically no longer yours. But I don't mind. I'd rather do the Race Control Pro Plus. I don't know. I think by the time you buy the DLC, probably a little bit more expensive than Race Control Pro plus the DLC on top. But over time, Race Control Pro with the DLC might be better value for money, but you don't know what other DLC is going to come out. So for peace of mind, I go for the Race Control Pro Plus version. But those are the 3 different versions you can do. Hopefully that's nice and self-explanatory. You can read what it says basically on the screen there. And yeah, I would definitely recommend just getting the light version, doing the beginner stuff. If you enjoy it, maybe get some DLC, or if you're just really enjoying it, just buy the Race Control Pro Plus version. Get instant access to the online championships, all the DLC that you might possibly need, and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so I think that pretty much covers all the basics you need to race Le Mans Ultimate Online. I hope you've enjoyed this guide. Hopefully it's not too complicated. I've tried to make it as simple as possible and try and explain it as best I can. If you do go out there and buy Le Mans Ultimate, I mean, if you're watching this guide, I'm assuming you already have already. Enjoy yourself. I think it's a great sim. It's come a long way to where it was beforehand. And I've been enjoying it a lot lately, and I hope you guys do as well. If you think I've left anything out that needs to be covered a little bit more, if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them. But apart from that, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're going to do a lot more Le Mans Ultimate on this channel. So if you enjoy it, I'll see you around. Take care.